Hello, hello. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your girl, Kamie Crawford, and today I'm by myself, but I'm never alone. Period. I feel like I have not talked to you guys one-on-one in a minute, and so I had to share some life updates, what's going on, literally moment by moment, hour by hour. This is what is happening currently in my life. So this morning, I had an appointment at Spring Fertility. If you guys know, Dr. Fisher came on the podcast to talk about egg freezing. We did an entire episode on egg freezing, so go and listen to that if you haven't already. But today, I went in for my first ultrasound appointment before I start my egg freezing process for real, for real. I've kind of been on the journey because almost a week ago, by the time this airs, who knows what fucking day it's going to be. Okay. Who knows if we're going to be on this planet? Is that asteroid still coming? Nobody knows. Still trying to figure that one out. But hopefully we are still on this planet. Take back everything I said. Hopefully we're still here because I already swiped my credit card for this egg freezing process and I am never going to get that money back. Which, by the way, my accountant told me that I cannot expense egg freezing, which I thought was ridiculous. I love my accountant. I would never question her. But I'm just like, why does egg freezing not count? If I run my own business and I don't have a corporation or a business that I work for who's covering it, why can't my business cover my egg freezing? Like, what kind of fucking healthcare system do I have put in place at this fucking company? Who's running this fucking company? It's me. Why is egg freezing not incorporated in my company policy for myself? These are the struggles of being an entrepreneur. I had to pay $10,000 out of pocket this morning, guys. Yeah. For my future egos. God, I hope they're cute because that swipe was not. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, had my baseline ultrasound appointment today. A week ago, I had to start taking a estrogen birth control pill, which I'm not going to lie, made me a little nervous because if you guys have been listening and you've been following me, you know that I got off of birth control a year ago after 18 years of being on birth control. I was on birth control from 13 years old because I had really, really painful periods, really bad cramps. I was passing out. It was like not normal. At the time, I'm not going to say that OBGYNs were not OBGYNing, but we did not know what we know now about fertility, like the female organ, whatever. Like we didn't know what we know now about periods and birth control and options and all of those things. So now we're in a completely different place. It's 2025. We have a lot more knowledge and I've been able to reset my hormones completely. I feel like a completely different person than I was when I was on the birth control. I look different. I feel like I have a better grasp on my body, on my mental health, on just like myself physically. There's a lot of like fluid that can be gained or lost when you're on birth control or off of birth control. My moods, I've been able to kind of anticipate how I'm going to be feeling based off of my cycle. And I've been cycle tracking ever since, which has been very, very interesting and honestly kind of fun. Like it's been fun to find out more about myself and my body. I've really enjoyed the process. I also really enjoyed being on birth control. So there's nothing, no tea, no shade against birth control. But I, at 32 years old, am very happy and proud to be all natural, except for the Botox, the gel nails, the weave, the eyelash extensions, and the lip liner. Other than that, all natural. All natural. So getting back on a estrogen pill for this process, it was a little daunting. I was just like, oh, like, how is my body going to respond? I really don't want to be on birth control again. It is a short-term birth control. It's like 7 days. I think tomorrow is my last pill. And it basically, I think, tricks your body into thinking that it's ovulating already so that you don't ovulate. Don't quote me on that because I could be wrong. I'm not a fucking doctor. Okay. But I did that. And then next which is what I learned today, was I will be administering my shots. Girl, I did not realize how long that needle was. And I'm not like afraid of needles. Like they took some blood from me today. And when they do that, I don't look because I don't want to like faint or whatever. Like I just don't want, I don't need to be a part of that. Anytime I get like IV drips or anything like that, I don't need to see what's going on. Just get it done quickly so we can wrap this up. But I had to do the blood work, and then they showed me how to administer the shots. One shot is very, very easy. You like take a vial, put it in a little, it almost looks like a mechanical pen. Put it in the mechanical pen, dial it up, boom, shoot it up. The next one is a little bit of a science experiment. You got to take some saline out of one thing and put it in another one, and then do upside down, and then do it again, and then draw it out, and then take another one, and then put it in it. There's a lot going on. Luckily, it's spring. This is not sponsored, by the way. Like I said, swiped my card today. I could have had that option, but I just feel, no shade to anybody who's documented their journey. I recorded videos in case I do want to put things together, but it's for me, egg freezing is a very personal process. I like to share things after the fact, after things have gone well and to my liking. But, evil eye is real, all those things, and I'm trying to protect my peace. So I don't see myself sharing until after we're done. But yeah, so that was the thing. I learned how to do all that voodoo bruja shit to put the mix the powders together and mix it up. And then I'm going to have to administer 2 shots to myself every night for the next like week and a half. And then I'm going to have to administer my trigger shot, which I haven't even learned about yet. And that's a whole other process. So it's a lot that goes into this. Like there's a lot that's going to be going on. My man is going to be helping me with my shots. We love him for that. We also haven't started yet. So if he pokes me and I don't like it, I will be doing my own shots because I can handle the pain if it's me. But like if it's somebody else, I don't know. So we'll see. But it's a very, very interesting process. I'm very excited to be doing it, but I'm also kind of like, can we just get this over with? Like, when can this be done? Because I also stopped drinking in preparation for this. They didn't tell me not to, but I just feel like, I want to give the babies, whoa, relax. I want to give the eggs the best possible, optimal chance. So I feel like alcohol, any kind of drugs, anything like that could only not benefit, like there can only be downsides. So I'm just staying clear. But boy, oh boy, do I want a fat glass of wine, white wine specifically, chilled. It is now getting warmer out in New York City, and I feel obligated to celebrate with a chilled glass of Sauvignon Blanc and or an Aperol Spritz. I would like to have an Aperol Spritz and then follow it with a glass of Sauvignon Blanc, chilled. But I can't because I got to freeze these damn eggs, and I'm ready to get these bitches on ice so that I can get me a drink on ice. You know what I'm saying? And it really isn't even like I'm some type of fiend, because I definitely did an episode, like 4 weeks ago, where I was like, I'm going to be sober. It's hot out again. I'm not going to be sober. Not completely. Halfway, most days. But not the whole time. Not all summer. It's warm outside. It's time for a cocktail, for a beverage, if you are not sober, like myself. So, but it's not that I am like, oh, I gotta have a drink. But it's just so nice out. Like, I don't want to, when you have to restrict yourself from something, it's like when I became pescatarian for like 3 months. I craved chicken so badly, and I didn't even feel like I ate chicken like that before becoming pescatarian. And then it was like all I wanted. And then I stopped wanting it. And then I just became pescatarian. And then I started eating chicken again. It's kind of like that with me, with Aperol Spritz. Same thing. Anyway, so that's the update on that. My retrieval is scheduled for the first week of May. So I am excited, ready to get her done and get these things right out of here, you know? I've been getting a lot of, mixed reviews from people who have done egg freezing. Everybody has something different to say. So I try not to latch on to any particular point of view. I'm just going to go through my own process. I will absolutely let you guys know how it goes and we'll take it from there. But I know a lot of people have been asking me, how have you been feeling since getting off the birth control and all those things like that? So hopefully that kind of covers it. I feel great. Like it took time. And if you're getting off of birth control, you have to give yourself time because you don't even know how you're going to feel, who you're going to be until at least a year out. Like I now feel like I really know myself and I've been very blessed to have immediately after I got off birth control, the next month I started my first period. All of my cycles have been regular. But for the first like 6 months, all of my cycles were very different. So I just take it all one day at a time. And yeah, life comes at you fast, huh? A lot of shit going down. Speaking of shit going down, we won a mother Webby. And I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. I should have started this off with that, but I just had an intravaginal ultrasound. So give me a fucking break, okay? I needed to talk about that. That was a more pressing matter. That was a more pressing matter for me. I had a very, very intimate experience today with the ultrasound tech. And it was great. It all went very, very well. But we won a Webby, y'all. Relationship won the Webby for the lifestyle podcast category, and I am beyond. I'm beyond. I feel validated in so many ways. Like, I truly can't even tell you, and a lot of people were surprised to see. I posted a group chat with my sisters and I, who are my creative directors in all things. And they were like, oh my God, congrats. Like, remember when you were going to quit the podcast and like move to a farm? And I was like, yeah, like literally last week. Like, as much as I love this podcast, as much as I love talking to y'all every single week, as much as this feels like exactly what I'm supposed to do, it is costly. It is time consuming. It can be draining. And sometimes it can feel like, I don't want to say thankless work, but sometimes it can feel like you're not being recognized, like you're not being seen for the work that you're doing, for the things that you're doing. And I do feel that from y'all. Like when I see you guys out, when I meet you, the love that you guys give me is what fuels my drive for this show. And the fact that I know that it is what you need and it's what I need. Like I need this for myself, selfishly. Like this is my diary. This is where I learn when I have guests on here. Like I learn so much and I feel like through therapy and through just like working on myself physically and mentally and learning from other people, other women specifically, I have just, it's opened up so much for me. And I am so grateful for all of those things, but at the same time, it is really fucking hard being a Black woman. You can put a period on that. But also, it is really fucking hard being a Black woman in media. It is really fucking hard being a Black woman in podcasting. And I recognize and check my own privilege all the time because I know I have many of them. But I also see the goings on. I see how the cookie ends up crumbling and it's rarely in our favor. And I know that from the outside looking in, you'll see me on TV and you'll see me on the podcast and you'll see me win the Webby and you're like, yes, queen, you are doing all of the things. Thank you. Yes. And it's still really fucking hard. And I still have to show up exceptional every single time. And I still cannot take a fucking break. And I still am doubted. And I still have to prove myself all the time in a lot of ways where, if you're a woman of color, if you're a Black woman, you can relate. If you're not, I would really appreciate you just listening and trying to empathize, even though it may not be your experience, but you can do all of the things and you can work 50 times as hard and still not even get a quarter as much. And it is a real fucking struggle. And it feels like you are just trudging through some days. And some days it pays off. And sometimes you win something. And sometimes you get that reignited feeling that I'm on the right track. And sometimes you get kicked back 10 steps. And sometimes people shit on you. And sometimes people tell you that you're not good enough or that you're not as good as them and try to implant doubt into your mind about yourself. This is something that I am speaking on because it is something that I have experienced many times throughout my career. And as a Black woman, also experiencing that from the world and from your workplace. I mean, women in general, I feel like we feel it. But if you are a Black woman, if you are a woman of color, you feel it. And that shit can be really fucking hard to deal with. And it is especially hard when you see other people who are doing something the same as you or on a similar path as you, and they're just hitting W's left, right, and center. They're winning. They are getting the deals. They're multi-million dollars, all of the brands, all of the fucking everything. The boss is calling them into the office all the time, giving them raises, praise after praise after praise. And you're like, wait a minute, I have been doing this as well. Where's my recognition? Where's my flowers? Where's my bonus? Where's my, and it feels like it doesn't come. It feels like it will never come. And that is defeating. And as much as I love doing this, I have felt defeated in a lot of ways. And some that, I share, and sometimes that I won't, because for me, I'm working behind the scenes to keep shit happening, keep the lights on in this bitch. But it can feel like that. And so to hear from you guys, to have so many of you vote for Relationsh for the Webby, even though the award that we won, just to be clear, was the judged on portion. There's a group of judges that judge for the Webbies, and they picked the podcast as the winner. And then the People's Voice Award went to someone else, which congratulations to them. And all of the nominees, go listen to their podcasts. I am here for the girls, you know me. But to know that so many of you sent it to your friends and family and voted, and it just means so much to me. And then to be recognized and to win, it just feels like, okay, all right, bitch. Yeah, you doing it. You doing what you're supposed to be doing. Good for you. Keep going. And it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop the work. It doesn't stop what I have to do, but it does feel very validating. And I know we shouldn't seek outside validation, but bitch, I'm seeking it. I'm seeking it. In some ways, I'm seeking it because it can be really hard to know that you're doing good work and produce a really good product and be on your shit and not have other people see it. It can be. And I'm just, speaking my truth. That's my experience. But I am so grateful and I'm so thankful. And I would say sorry for the tangent, but I feel like it was necessary. It's something that's been on my heart, and I just have to let you know that thugs cry too, bitch. I cry over this podcast often because I believe in it. I believe in it. I believe in myself. I believe in you. And I want to keep showing up the way that I do. And I need you to know when I'm having a moment. And I definitely was for a good while before we got that nomination and before we got that win. And I say we because it is you and me. When you see me, you see we. And yeah, that's the gist. That's my That's my spiel. I feel like I can share this now. I'm going to Cannes Film Festival with L'Oreal Paris in May. What? Like, I'm so grateful. I'm just like in a space of gratitude. I'm so excited. I'm just like, fuck, yes, yes. It just feels very, very good to be seen, to be appreciated, to be invited, to be included. Your girl is excited. I'm very, very excited. And I've never been to Cannes, so I am extra, extra excited. And I'm just so happy. I'm so happy. I have L'Oreal Paris lip gloss on right now. This is not sponsored, but they are taking me to Cannes. So buy this lip gloss so that they keep me there. Okay? Anyway, let's talk about you. Enough about me. What are you guys dealing with? What's going on in your lives? All right, let's see. You guys wrote in. Here goes the first one. And I already see the word pregnant. So let's get into it. Hey, Kamie, I would like to remain anonymous. Last June, I started talking to this guy and we went on one date. A few weeks later, he tells me that a girl he used to talk to is now 3 months pregnant. And he wants to be there for her, basically cutting off things with me. Following that, he would randomly text me to vent about how he's so afraid to be a father. And I honestly kept the conversation short because I'm not his free emotional support animal, period. Exactly. I was just about to say the same thing. Those exact words. We see each other. I last spoke to him in January and I completely forgot about him until yesterday when he spammed my IG with likes. I looked at his Instagram to see if he had the baby. There was no sign of the baby, but I'm nosy, so I went to check his baby mom's IG. Her IG used to be private, but now it's public, and guess what? She was never pregnant. All these months, he was lying about having a baby that never existed. I don't have a relationship dilemma, but I just wanted to know why men are so weird. What? Are you sure that's the baby mom? What if that was the girl that he was dating, but there's another girl who's pregnant? And why would he lie about that? That would be so strange. But then to still be talking to you, like, what would be the purpose? Maybe not to get you too close. Look, my Scorpio brain working, jumping to conclusions. I'm like, maybe he didn't want you too close to him. Ew, weird. But also, what if it's somebody else? What if like that's his like girlfriend, but like it's somebody else? Or what if he's like using it as an excuse to be with her? Or worse, what if something happened while she was pregnant? I don't know. That's fucking weird. Don't talk to him anymore. Just like you can bypass all of the weirdness by just like not speaking to him again. I think that that is absolutely warranted. And it sounds like he just like, what was he doing? What was the point of like all that trauma dumping that he was doing? Strange. Block him immediately. Yesterday. Someone said, is homie hopping always bad, especially if they're not that close? Let me tell you something. You're single, they're single. What's the problem? I mean, listen, you can't like, I feel like you got to be a little bit choosy. If they're best friends, I wouldn't do it. But who am I to tell you what to do? I'm a trusted source, though. I am. But if they're best friends, if they are close, I say stay away. That's too messy. That's weird. It's giving open relationship or poly relationship. And like, if that's the case, you might as well just ask them both if they're down for that. But if they're not that close, who gives a fuck? Like, I just feel like in 2025, everyone is dating everyone. And depending on where you live, even though like being in New York City is still kind of like high school. Like if you, or college, because we're adults and we can drink. Can you drink in college? Yeah, you can. Anyway, I was. Besides the point. Focus. If you live in a city or whatever your community is, like chances are everybody has 6 degrees of separation of dating somebody else. Like, so what are you going to do? And depending on where you went to school, what groups you hang out in, what you do for work. Like, people tend to date each other. And I don't think that you should cut off a potential match, like a real match for you, because you talked to or dated someone who they are semi, like, by way of someone else, like, in community with. Who gives a shit? This is not high school. It feels like it, but it's not high school, and you should be able to date who you want as long as people are single and consenting. That's my feelings. I just don't think that, I feel like we just put way too much on that. And I also feel it is misogynistic as fuck. Because, not saying that you are, but when straight men do it with women, we don't call it homie hopping. You can have a male best friend who's fucked like 4 of your friends, and we don't call it homie hopping. We just say he fucked 4 of my friends. Why is it not homie hopping when the men do it? I'm just saying. Feels like misogyny. Feels anti-feminist. Homie hop if you want. Anyway, someone said, boyfriend verbally attacked my mom. Stuck in the middle. Now what? Me and Bae live together. Well, multiple things. What was the conversation about? Was it in defense of you? Was it in defense of himself or something that he did? Is he someone who verbally goes on the attack a lot? How bad was it? Like, I need to know the nature of it. My first instinct is, I'm very close with my mom. My mom is my girl. That's my best friend. If my man went off on my mom, he wouldn't. Number 1. Number 2, he wouldn't be my man anymore. Unless she did some like foul shit to me, which she wouldn't, because she's my mom. She loves me. But like, some people's moms are weird. So I get that. But like, I could understand that. Like, your partner is on your side. So like, I can understand that. But if your boyfriend, if a man does not know how to control himself with your mom, that makes me a little worried and concerned about how he controls himself with you in certain arguments and situations. So, but if it was in defense of you and something that was like very serious, then I can understand. But being stuck in the middle is tough. I think they're going to have a conversation. If you want the relationship with him to work out and it wasn't a situation where you feel like you and your safety or your mom's safety are at risk, because those things are most important, I think that they need to have a conversation and work out whatever the issue is. I don't think that you can properly be the liaison between both parties. And I feel like you're going to have to not remove yourself from it, but you're going to have to work on your own relationships with both of them, and they're going to have to work on their relationship with each other outside of you, if that relationship is going to continue, because your mom's always going to be your mom. Your boyfriend may not always be your boyfriend, unless he was protecting you from something very serious. I don't know. I need more context. Someone said, hey, bestie, I'm starting a podcast in the fall. Hope to have you on one day. Any tips? Congratulations on starting your podcast. Yes. A lot of people are starting podcasts right now. And I just went on a whole rant about how I want to quit the podcast every day. I'm so sorry. But it's for real reasons. Like, it's not easy. Podcasting is not easy. And I think that because there are so many podcasts, people make it seem like it's easy. I think I tend to make it seem like it's easy. It's not fucking easy. It's a lot of work. My biggest tip is to bank as many episodes in advance as possible so that you're not trying to like chase after your air dates. So if your air date is on a Wednesday, I would make sure that I have at least like, I mean, when I started the podcast, I think I started off with 8 to 12 episodes that I already had, just like my eggs sitting in the freezer, like just waiting on me, and then you release them every week. So that way by Wednesday, you're not like, oh shit, like, what do I have for this Wednesday? What do I have for next Wednesday? Like, you already have them already chilling and ready for you. That's my biggest piece of advice. And then consistency. Like, you can't just stop. If you notice, we rarely take a Friday off unless it's like a holiday. Um, so it is a lot. It's a lot. Just prepare yourself that it's going to be a lot. Um, but if you have like good sound quality, good engineers, good production, like someone to piece it all together, or if you're doing it yourself, you'll be good. But just make sure you have those episodes ready to go. And video helps a lot. People love video clips, put them out there, watch them go viral. Make sure you're posting your content and talking about your podcast a lot. Okay, let's see. How do I navigate dating an older man that disregards what I'm saying at times? I was just having a conversation with someone about this. Um, they are dating someone who is 10 years older than them, and they are in their early 20s. And we were talking about this because, as older people, whatever, there are people older than me, obviously, but like I'm in my 30s, my sisters are in their 20s, in their early 20s. And there's a lot that I would love to shield them from because I'm their big sister. And like, I want to make sure that they don't have to go through the things. But at the same time, you can't live someone else's life for them, and you can't make someone else's mistakes for them. And you can't, like, I'm Jamaican. So one of our sayings is that, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And it's true. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. You can tell someone exactly how something is going to play out, but you can't make them listen to you. And you definitely can't make them follow your exact advice. And your exact advice may not be relevant to their exact situation. And so I feel like similarly, when dating someone who is older, they may be stuck in their own ways, and they may be trying to solve an issue for you in advance, or an issue that they think that you might have that you don't actually think that you have. And they may know what they think is best for their life. And they may actually do, because they're grown as fuck. And it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. I think that it's important to relay the fact that like you are still learning for the first time. Like you're experiencing this age and this lifetime and this economy for the first time. And although they may not have the same experience, and they may have already experienced it 1,000 times before, in the dinosaur age, a lot has changed since then. The world has evolved. LOL. Has it? Unclear. But things have changed, and you have changed, and you will still continue to change, and they cannot try to accelerate that or hinder that. So I don't know exactly what they're not listening to, but I know the arrogance that comes with age and wisdom, because I have it. I'm sure you have it with certain people who are younger in your life. And the people who are older than me absolutely have it, because anytime I go to an older person with a problem, they're like, please, you have no idea. You're so young. You don't have to worry. Let me tell you. Like, okay. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you, Grandma. I get it. However, I'm experiencing this for the first time. And so, yes, this is going to be the most important thing to me right now. And maybe it won't be in 10 years, but like, this is where I'm at right now. So just respect, like mutual respect, I think is all that you can ask for. All right. Last one. Ooh, someone said how to know my worth and walk the fuck away. I want you to go listen to the episode that we did with Dr. Molly Burritz. That was a really, really great episode. It was about that exact thing. So look that one up, and hopefully you'll take something away from that. Oh, someone said, no, I just wanted to say congratulations, and I'm so proud of you, Bestie. Thank you, Bestie. Thank you, boo. I appreciate that so much. Someone said, I've been single for almost a year and half healed from my ex, but somehow I still think of him. That's okay. It's okay to still think of him. Like, it doesn't mean when you break up with somebody, I don't think that it means that you completely forget about them. Maybe you latch on more to the bad moments. Maybe you latch on more to the good times. But I don't think that they ever completely go out of your mind. Like, something is bound to remind you of them. We're very sensory people. So whether it's like a smell or, a food or a place that you have been to together, like, Your exes are bound to pop into your mind at some point about something. It doesn't mean that you haven't healed from it, though. And this is something that I had to learn after relationships end and you get into new relationships. Things that you feel like you have healed from, you don't necessarily know that you are fully healed until you experience what it's like to be loved properly. And that is a very, very scary realization because I thought I was healed. I thought I was done healing. I was like, oh, I've done all the work. I've taken all the classes. I know all my human design. I have all the crystals and I've done all the therapy. And I know my astrology top to bottom. I am healed. And it wasn't until getting into my relationship with my current boyfriend that I realized that I still had so much work to do. And this is why I always say a good love will teach you how much you still have to work on. And that can be very scary. And there will be a lot of tears shed because it doesn't matter if it's like toxic shit from your exes or any kind of like childhood trauma, like things tend to bubble up when things feel too good to be true. Like when the love is too good and it feels like, how could someone love me like this when I'm so used to being loved like that? And I think you just have to let it happen. Just let it play out and heal yourself through it and learn through it is the most important thing. But it doesn't mean that you just forget about them. And you may remember them in times when you are like, why am I even thinking about this person right now? Like, I've already fucking let that go. This is a part of the letting go. It coming back up is a part of letting go. It doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong. It doesn't mean that you've fallen behind. It doesn't mean, no, you're right where you need to be, but it's going to keep happening. Let it happen and work through it when the time comes. All right, y'all. I love you so much. I don't know when I'll do another solo, probably after the egg freezing process is done. So I'll be able to give you the whole tea about what that is like. Pray for me. Pray for your girl. And congrats to us on this Webby. And I can't wait to see you again. Love you. Bye.